Now we'll continue this session. Marketers need to know how responsive or elastic demand is to change in price. Each price will lead to a different level of demand and have a different impact on a company's marketing objectives. The normally inverse relationships between price and demand is captured in a demand curve. The higher the price, the lower the demand. For prestige goods, the demand curve sometimes slopes upward. Some consumers take the higher price to signify a better product. However, if the price is too high, demand may fall. Consider the two demand curves in Figure 12.1. In demand curve A, a price increase from $10 to $15 leads to a relatively small decline in demand from 105 to 100. In demand curve B, the same price increase leads to a substantial drop in demand from 150 to 50. If demand hardly changes with a small change in price, we say it inelastic. If demand changes considerably, it is elastic. Companies prefer consumers who are less price sensitive. Table 12.3 lists some characteristics associated with decreased price sensitivity. Demand sets a ceiling on the price the company can charge for its product. Costs set the floor. The company wants to charge a price that covers its cost of producing, distributing, and selling the product, including a fair return for its effort and the risks. A company's costs take two forms: fixed and variables. Fixed costs, also known as overhead, are costs that do not vary with production level or sales revenue. A company must pay bills each month for rent, heat, interest, salaries, and so on, regardless of output. Variable costs vary directly with the level of production. For example, each tablet computer produced by Samsung incurs the cost of plastic and glass, microprocessor chips, and other electronics, and packaging. Total costs consist of the sum of the fixed and variable costs for any given levels of production. Average cost is the cost per unit at that level of production. It equals total costs divided by production. Management wants to charge a price that will at least cover the total production costs at a given level of production. To price intelligently, management needs to know how its costs vary with different levels of production. Take the case in which a company such as Samsung has built a fixed-size plant to produce 1,000 tablet computers a day. The cost per unit is high if few units are produced per day. As production approaches 1,000 units per day, the average cost falls because the fixed costs are spread over more units. Short-run average cost increases after 1,000 units. However, because the plant becomes inefficient, workers must line up for machines, getting in each other's way, and the machines break down more often. Suppose Samsung runs a plant that produces 3,000 tablet computers per day. As company gains experience producing tablets, its methods improve, workers learn shortcuts, materials flow more smoothly, and procurement costs fall. The results, as Figure 12.3 shows, is the average cost falls with accumulated production experience. Thus, the average cost of producing the first 100,000 tablets is $100 per tablet. When the company has produced the first 200,000 tablets, the average cost has fallen to $90. After its accumulated production experience doubles again to 400,000, the average cost is $80. This decline in the average cost with accumulated production experience is called the experience curve or learning curve. Now suppose three firms compete in this particular tablet market: Samsung, A, and B. Samsung is the lowest cost producer at $80. having produced 400,000 units in the past. If all three firms sell the tablets for $100, Sums makes $20 per profit per unit. A makes $10 per unit, and B breaks even. The smart move for Samsung would be to lower its price to $90. This will drive B out of the market, and even A may consider leaving. Samsung will pick up the business that would have gone to B. Furthermore, price-sensitive customers will enter the market at the lower price. As production increases beyond 400,000 units, Samsung's costs will drop still further and faster, more than restoring its profits, even at the price of $90. Costs change with production scale and experience. They can also change as a result of a concentrated effort by designers, engineers, and purchasing agents to reduce them through targeting costing. Market research establishes a new product's designed functions and the price at which it will sell, giving its peer and competitors' prices. This price less desired profit margin leaves the target cost the marketers must achieve. The firm must examine each cost element, design, engineering, manufacturing, sales, and bring down costs so the final cost projections are in the target range. Cost cutting cannot go so deep as to compromise the brand promise and value delivered. Despite the early success of the PT Cruisers, Chrysler chose to squeeze out more profit by avoiding certain redesigns and cutting costs with cheaper radios and inferior materials. Once a best-selling car, the PT Cruiser was eventually discontinued. If the firm's offer contains features not offered by the nearest competitor, it should evaluate their worth to the customer and add the value to the competitor's price. If the competitor's offer contains some features not offered by the firm should subtract their value from its own price. Now the firm can decide whether it can charge more, the same, or less than the competitor. Value-priced companies offering the powerful combination of low price and high quality are capturing the hearts and the wallets of consumers all over the world. Value players such as Audi, E-Trade Financial, JetBlue Airways, Southwest Airlines, Target, and Walmart are transforming the way consumers of nearly every age and income level purchase groceries, apples, airline tickets, financial services, and other goods and services. Given the consumer's demand schedule, the cost function, and the competitors' prices, the company is now ready to select a price. Companies select a pricing method that includes one or more of those three considerations. We will examine 7 price-setting methods: markup pricing, target return pricing, perceived value pricing, EDLP, going rate pricing, and auction-type pricing. The most elementary pricing method is to add a standard markup to the product's cost. Construction companies submit drop bids by estimating the total project cost and adding a standard markup for profit. Lawyers and accountants typically price by adding a standard markup on their time and costs. Assume the manufacturers want to earn a 20% markup on sales. The manufacturers will charge dealers $20 per toaster and make a profit of $4 per unit. If dealers want to earn 50% on their sales ceiling price, they will mark up the toaster 100% to $40. In target return pricing, the firm determines the price that yields its target rate of return on investment. Public utilities, which need to make a fair return on investment, often use this method. Suppose the toaster manufacturer has invested $1 million in the business and wants to set a price to earn a 20% ROI, especially $200,000. The target return price of $20 is calculated by the formula on this slide. The manufacturer can prepare a break-even chart to learn what could happen at other sales levels. Fixed costs are $300,000 regardless of sales volume. Variable costs, not shown in the figure, rise with volume. Total costs equal the sum of fixed and variable costs. The total revenue curve starts at 0 and rises with each unit sold. The total revenue and total cost curves cross at 30,000 units. This is the break-even volume. An increasing number of companies now base their price on the customer's perceived values. Companies must deliver the value promised by their value proposition, and the customers must perceive this value. Firms use the other marketing programs elements, such as advertising, sales force, and the internet, to communicate and enhance perceived values in buyers' minds. Ensuring that customers appreciate the total value of a product or service offering is crucial. The key to perceived value pricing is to deliver more unique value than competitors and to demonstrate this to prospective buyers. The company can try to determine the value of its offering in several ways: managerial judgments within the company, value of similar products, focus groups, surveys, experimentation, analysis of historical data, and conjunct analysis. Companies that adopt value pricing win loyal customers by charging a very low price for a high-quality offering. Value pricing is thus not a matter of simply setting lower prices. It's a matter of re-engineering the company's operations to become a low-cost producer without sacrificing quality to attract a large number of value-conscious customers. A retailer using everyday low pricing charges a constant low price with little or no price promotion or special sales. Constant prices eliminate week-to-week price uncertainty and the high-low pricing of promotion-oriented competitors. In high-low pricing, the retailer charges high prices on an everyday basis, but run frequently promotions with prices temporarily lower than the EDLP level. In going rate pricing, the firm bases its price largely on competitors' prices. Going rate pricing is quite popular, where costs are difficult to measure or competitive response is uncertain. Firms feel it is a good solution because they believe it reflects the industry's collective wisdom. Auction-type pricing is growing more popular, especially with schools of electronic marketplaces selling everything from pigs to used cars as firms dispose of excess inventories or used goods. These are the three major types of auctions and their separate pricing procedures. English auctions have one seller and many buyers. On sites such as eBay and Amazon.com, the seller puts up an item and buyers raise their offer prices until the top price is reached. Dutch auctions features one seller and many buyers or one buyer and many sellers. In the first kind, an auctioneer announces a higher price for a product and then slowly decreases the price until a bidder accepts. In another, the buyer announces something he or she wants to buy, and the potential sellers compete to offer the lowest price. Sealed bid auctions let would-be suppliers submit only one bid. They cannot know the other bids. The US and other governments often use this method to procure suppliers or to grant licenses. Pricing methods narrow the range from which the company must select its final price. The final price must take into account the brand's quality and advertising relative to the competition. The price must be consistent with company pricing policies, yet companies are not averse to establishing pricing penalties under certain circumstances. Buyers must resist accepting a seller's proposal because they perceive a high level of risk, such as in a big computer hardware purchase or a company health plan. The seller then has the option of offering to absorb part or all the risk if it does not deliver the full promised value. How will distributors and dealers feel about the complimented price if they did not make enough profit? They may choose not to bring the product to market. Will the sales force be willing to sell at that price? How will competitors react? Will suppliers raise their prices when they see the company's price? Will the government intervene and prevent this price from being charged? That's what we have covered about pricing. Next time, we'll continue with more programs. Thank you.